Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for being here tonight for this very special event. We are honoring two women this evening with the HerStory Award. My name is Adia Lancaster, and I will be the MC for tonight. You know, the HerStory Award is a very unique event that I don't think they do it anywhere else in the world. This is really unique to Women's Federation for World Peace USA. And it's so incredibly special because not only do we honor and celebrate incredible women who have achieved amazing things in their life, who have served the community and continue to serve the community on top of all the other things that they do as women. But we really also, for this event, honor the heart behind what got them there and how do they continue to persevere, how they continue to build that resilience to keep moving forward and inspire others. And so it's just such a special time. Every month we do this online, and also for local chapters, they do it as well. But it's just an amazing event to be a part of. And I'm so honored that you are here. To give you a little bit of background about Women's Federation for World Peace and Global Women's Peace Network, I would like to introduce the president of Women's Federation for World Peace USA, Mrs. Kayleigh Moffitt.
Good evening. Thank you, Adia, and thank you everybody for coming tonight, especially for the two women leaders that we are honoring today. This is one of our favorite things that we do, and you can tell by Adia's excitement that we really love this program because, you know, the women that do this kind of work, they don't do it for the appreciation, they don't do it for the award, they do it because of the kind of people they are and the calling they have in their heart. But we've made it our mission to make sure that we uplift those women because we know that it hasn't been easy. We know that they haven't had the support that they've always needed, although they've probably had some support along the way. And today is really about celebrating those accomplishments. Women's Federation for World Peace, we just celebrated our 32nd anniversary a few days ago, and we are an international organization. And today is specifically hosted by the Global Women's Peace Network, which is a project of our organization, which is a special track and special network for women leaders. And we have hundreds of them across the United States who have joined this network. And you can consider it a group of like-minded women who are seeking to see real change in their communities and in their homes and in their families and their wider networks that can seek towards lasting and more permanent change. So we are so grateful for those who are joining this network today and for those that nominated them as well. Whenever we do the HerStory Award, I always like to read a little quote from the founder of our organization, Dr. Hak Ja Han Moon, whom we lovingly call Mother Moon. And this is from her memoir, The Mother of Peace. And if you haven't had a copy of this yet, we will make sure everyone gets a copy of it. So just let us know. But the quote that I chose today, she talks about why she founded this organization, the Women's Federation for World Peace. And she says that I launched the Women's Federation for World Peace as a movement to awaken women to their true value and help them embrace men and develop themselves in partnership with men. And she says to be a clear mirror that reflects this age, each woman first needs to be clear and pure within herself. Each needs to find the power within that is necessary to overcome self-centeredness. God will raise up such true women as leaders on the path to world peace. And I chose that because I feel, you know, I've read the bios and heard about the women that we're honoring today. I feel that they are really examples of those kinds of women that are doing something amazing in so many different networks and communities. And today is our opportunity to honor and uplift them as true women leaders. So we're really looking forward to hearing your stories today and being able to give you this award. And I'll pass it back to Adia. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, let's get started with our first awardee for this evening, Dr. Kimberly Dawn Wisdom, who is Senior Vice President of Community Health and Equity and Chief Wellness and Diversity Officer for Henry Ford health. Dr. Kimberly Dawn Wisdom, MD, MS, and FACEP, is a distinguished figure in the field of public health and community healthcare advocacy, serving as the Senior Vice President of Community Health and Equity and Chief Wellness and Diversity Officer at Henry Ford Health. Dr. Wisdom brings over 3 decades of experience as a board-certified emergency medicine physician. Notably, she held the esteemed position of Michigan's and the nation's first state-level Surgeon General, and was appointed by President Obama to the Advisory Group on Prevention, Health, Promotion, and Integrative and Public Health. Dr. Wisdom's work focuses on addressing health disparities and promoting equity with initiatives targeting infant mortality, chronic disease, and unhealthy lifestyles. Her leadership extends to diversity, equity, and inclusion efforts, both within Henry Ford Health and as an advisor to other organizations. Dr. Wisdom's commitment to youth empowerment is evident through her founding of the Generation with Promise program. Recognized for her contributions with numerous awards, Dr. Wisdom continues to be a driving force in advancing community health and social justice initiatives, both locally and nationally. Now, before I bring up Dr. Wisdom to this virtual stage, I'd first like to introduce the person who nominated her, Sabine Kwasi, to just give us a few words about why we are awarding Dr. Wisdom this evening.
Yeah, thank you so much, Adia. Yes, good evening, everybody. Do you see I'm beaming from ear to ear because I'm so grateful that we are honored with the presence of Dr. Kimberly Dawn Wisdom. Also, I'm very grateful to her executive assistant, Miss Kirsty Corsett. Actually, also happy birthday to Kirsty's husband. So, yeah, Dr. Kimberly Dawn Wisdom. Already when I met her the first time at the airport where I work, I believe I met her not anyway. We have already now met several times, and it's always through a special GPS system I'm connected to at the airport. The God provides surely a system. It's a very important system. So, because I remember even one time I was very surprised. Suddenly, Dr. Wisdom was standing in front of me. I think that was maybe third, fourth time we met. So we could feel really the God provides surely system is very active. So already that time, the first time I felt I would like to nominate her for the HerStory Award, but I wasn't confident because she is so very busy. She's traveling a lot. So, but that's why also I'm very grateful for her angel Kirsty, who supported us for tonight. So, actually, I wanted to write a poem about Dr. Wisdom. This is what God showed me. This is my heart, the heart of a poet. Well, you see, the challenge, everything what I have seen in Dr. Wisdom, everything what I have learned about her, her light is too bright. I couldn't put that very bright light in the adequate words to introduce her. I'm not bright enough as a poet, you see, so I'm sorry, but okay, it's always plan B or so. So I took her initials, KW. KW, kind woman. Yes, she's very kind. When you meet her, you feel really a special kindness coming towards you. And of course, she is also a woman of wisdom. Woman of wisdom. Oh, that is wow. Yeah. WOW, woman of wisdom. Yes, she is a woman of wisdom. And a wow woman, that means a great woman. So when I got that keyword great, I thought, right, the GR of great stands for, and now really I give you the key to understand who the person is. Dr. Kimberly Dawn Wisdom is really a woman of gentle resilience. Gentle resilience. Resilient, you have to be tough, yeah, but also she's gentle at the same time. So what an amazing combination, yeah, gentle resilience. So this saved my neck because I couldn't write a poem, but at least I got the keywords, yeah, through the GPS connection. Anyway, yeah, I think you get the point. So, yes, this person, Dr. Kimberly Dawn Wisdom, she really, her heart is to focus on fulfilling her purpose. Already, as a little girl, feeling that she wants to be a doctor and taking care of her mother. So this is really the heart of Dr. Kimberly Dawn Wisdom, caring for others' health, serving others, and she is crowned with humility, something I don't have much. She is amazingly humble. So, well, I'm just so, anyway, you can see I'm nervous. I'm floating on a cloud. I'm just so very honored. It's a GPS connection, you know. It's really the power within, as our President Kelly quoted. Yes, the power within has guided Dr. Wisdom to really go against all odds and fulfill her purpose. And that's why I'm so grateful and so excited today that through this HerStory Award, the story of Dr. Kimberly Dawn Wisdom will be more visible, more known, so that it can serve as an inspiration for many others. Thank you so much. Congratulations, Dr. Wisdom.
Well, thank you so much, Sabina, for that very kind comment. I'm trying to hold back the tears because I have to talk for a little bit. So you have just been an angel, and just God blessed me when he had our paths cross. And you have just been such a tremendous support, and I appreciate you immensely, immensely. So I want to start off by congratulating the leadership of the Women's Federation for World Peace for over 30 years of service empowering women across the globe. And I'd like to extend my heartfelt appreciation for you honoring me with this very special recognition. And again, I want to thank Sabina Kowalski for nominating me for this very, very special award. This is the first time for me that I've been recognized by an organization that embraces both peace and love as core to its mission. I also want to give honor to God and acknowledge my family, friends, colleagues, and my nearly 97-year-old mother, who tries still to tell me what to do. Also, I want to extend congratulations to the other awardees. I know there's one person that could not attend tonight, but I want to extend my congratulations to them. And it's really my honor and privilege to share this memorable moment in time with you. I'd be remiss if I didn't mention my late husband, Reverend Garth A. Wisdom Sr., who for 44 years was a key contributor to helping shape the story that I'm able to tell today. I prayed for wisdom, and God sent me Mr. Wisdom, so God certainly has a sense of humor. So much of my life story has been fighting for peace. I know it sounds like an oxymoron. How do you fight for peace? But fighting to realize social justice so that peace can be realized at several levels, at the individual level, the community level, the regional and state, as well as the national level. fighting to change procedures, practices, implement programs, drive policies, all the while engaging very key partners who are just essential because no one can ever do this work alone. You've got to depend on a lot of key people within the ecosystem. This fight has manifested itself in different ways over the years. Fighting as a 14-year-old teenager who was raised during the height of the civil rights movement and mentored by people like Dr. Dorothy Height, who Obama recognizes as the godmother of the civil rights movement. I found myself picketing at the National YWCA at the age of 14 to fight to bring justice to discriminatory practices that would result in peace at a certain level. Fighting as a physician in the emergency department, developed treatments for collapsed lungs to avoid a large chest tube and a lengthy hospital admission, which we call the catheter aspiration of the simple pneumothorax, so that there would be peace for that patient and less pain and less suffering from people that suffered from that condition. Fighting as a public health practitioner at the community level to ensure that African American men do not die prematurely or pregnant moms do not have to suffer from a preventable infant death, again, resulting in the mitigation of suffering and hopefully leading to a level of peace. Fighting at the state level as state surgeon general to ensure that children did not suffer from irreversible brain damage from childhood lead poisoning, and working with policymakers to put systems in place so that the governor could sign them into law so that they would be ongoing policies, mitigating loss again and mitigating suffering to ultimately bring about peace. Fighting at the national level as a special government employee appointed by President Obama and then President Trump to determine the best way to eliminate health and healthcare disparities and achieve equity. Peace in knowing that disparities are not acceptable. As the National Youth Poet Laureate Amanda Gorman so profoundly stated in her poem, The Hill We Climb, she says, we learn that quiet isn't always peace, and norms and notions of what just is isn't always justice. So our work is certainly cut out for us. I'd like to share 3 lessons over the years that I've learned. To stay in the fight for justice and peace long enough to see a change occur. Oftentimes I feel people give up way too early in a fight for justice or in a fight for peace. And you want to fight long enough so that ultimately some of your adversaries actually become your advocates. And this clearly happened with us, as many of us over 25 years or so fought for the reimbursement for community health workers, or CHWs. And just recently, Governor Granholm signed it into law that that provider type will be reimbursed. So fighting for justice and ultimately peace that those community health workers bring to people in our communities. Secondly, stay in the fight for justice and peace long enough to grow and promote the next generation of women leaders. The onus is upon us as more senior leaders to make a path forward for our more junior colleagues, while we concurrently honor our mentors and sponsors, those that have mentored us over the years and sponsored us. And I have had many amazing mentors, and that put us in the seats that we're actually in today. And I often think of never forgetting who brought you to the dance. So always honoring our mentors and sponsors while we mentor and sponsor others. And remember, real queens fix each other's crowns. Thirdly, stay in the fight for justice and peace long enough to work with others and find ways to work with very diverse people and to work in concert and to work in harmony. And that's whether you're working with men, people of different racial or ethnic orientations, those that are disabled, veterans, young, the more seasoned citizens, to work across the gamut of the diverse types of individuals in order to fight for justice, and peace. Lastly, I want to dedicate this award to the people who care for the people. And those people are the people that I consider my team. It's my team who works tirelessly to implement the plans we develop. And I so much appreciate all that they do. And I feel honored and blessed to have the privilege to work with them. I also want to dedicate this to my mentors and sponsors, who without them, I would not be in the position I am today to even give these remarks. And ultimately, I want to dedicate this to my family, who has been the wind beneath my wings, always there to support, care, love, and without them, I would also not be able to share with you today. So thank you again for the honor that you are bestowing upon me as the Women's Federation for World Peace, with the Women's Federation for World Peace HerStory Award. Thank you very much.
All right, I wasn't sure if I was unmuted. Dr. Wisdom, oh my goodness. I mean, I love your joke about praying for wisdom and then God gave you wisdom, because I'm sure you get that kind of comment all the time, but the grace with which you just shared your story is really incredible. And I mean, the accomplishments you've accomplished are extremely noteworthy, but what I hear is like the undercurrent of everything you've done is your heart and your determination and your commitment to overcome even difficult moments and still honoring those who helped you get to where you were. I wrote down your quote of true queens help fix each other's crowns. I mean, I love that. I love it. Yeah. So it's really, wow, such an honor for us to be able to award you today. And I hope that this gives you more strength and courage as you continue the great work that you're doing. We're going to bring up this virtual award, but you will get this mailed to you in a very nice little package. But today we honor you virtually. It says the HerStory Award is proudly presented to Dr. Kimberly Dawn Wisdom on this day, April 13th, 2024, in recognition of your trailblazing efforts to tackle health disparities, promote diversity, and empower communities, securing a hopeful, inclusive, and equitable future for all. We honor you as a peace leader who lives by the logic of love. Congratulations, Dr. Wisdom. Let's all give her a round of applause. You truly, truly deserve this award and so much more. Thank you and congratulations.
Yes, congratulations, Dr. Wisdom.
Yes, congratulations, Dr. Wisdom. One thing that I took away from what you shared was the first lesson, which is really having this marathon mindset. But you said something really profound, which was you're treating your adversaries, you're there so long that your adversaries become your allies. That just really spoke to me. And I thought, yes, that is truly the path of peace, right? That is truly the path that Jesus walked, that God has walked, that our founders have walked. So I'm really grateful for that. Thank you so much for sharing this evening, and congratulations.
Great. Thank you.
Okay. You're welcome. All right. Our next awardee for this evening is Dr. Mrs. Edith Amobi Agbaza. She is a licensed financial educator and insurance agent, but let me just introduce you to her, okay? Dr. Mrs. Edith Amobi Agbaza is a distinguished scholar with a PhD in social work from Howard University and a background in environmental sociology from the University of Baltimore. She holds esteemed credentials as a licensed professional counselor, a licensed marriage family therapist, and drug addiction counselor. Driven by a profound desire to make a positive impact, Dr. Amobi Agbaza embarked on her journey as an I always blubber this word, ombudsman in Baltimore City, diligently investigating various forms of abuse in nursing and group homes. Currently, Dr. Amobi Agbaza channels her expertise into the financial industry, providing invaluable free education to families on essential topics such as tax-free retirement planning, Medicare and Medicaid application procedures, life insurance protection strategies, long-term care, and college funding programs, ensuring no family is left behind in securing a safer and prosperous future. Beyond her professional endeavors, she finds fulfillment in her role as a devoted wife to Reverend Charles Agbaza, head of Celestial Church of Christ in America, and as a nurturing mother to her 5 children and many grandchildren. Additionally, she has extended her love and care by adopting 2 young ladies, each with 4 children, who were tragically abandoned by their families due to their loss of their caregiver. Before we introduce Dr. Amobi Agbaza to this virtual stage, I'd like to bring up her nominator, Dr. Angelica Selly, to say a few words.
Good evening, ladies. Wow, the introduction of Mrs. Kwasi, I like to borrow that because a lot of it fits also to Dr. Edith. But among the many accomplishments she has, I got to learn her on a very different note. We met actually in the mid-90s when I was working with Christian clergy and outreach to churches, and someone introduced me to her church, the Celestial Church of Christ here in Maryland. And from the start, we had a very strong bond of heart and spirit, the two of us, and also the Bishop Akbasa himself. They both impressed me immediately as people who love God, who authentically live by God's principles. We often prayed together even beyond services and became extended family. That's how I know Dr. Edith. But during those years when she was also connecting with many aspects of our peace movement, I got to know her other passion, her quiet passion that was just become very loud in her credentials. But she didn't talk about all these things, that she was a marriage counselor, did social work, went to prisons and helped the mentally ill people, children, and giving them hope. One sentence that really moved me and never forget, at one of our events, she said, the perpetrator, when we're talking about prisoners, right? The perpetrator is most always also the victim. That really changed my view of prisoners and people who hurt people. And that also speaks about her heart. It is very deep heart, and combined with the gift of divine insight. She's also a prophetess, actually. She can see beyond what meets the eye. And that, I believe, that gift that God gave her has been her strength to impact people's lives, to transform lives, to give hope where there was no hope, to help people out of desperate situations and giving them a life of success and joy. So Dr. Edith has this gift of really transforming people's hearts because of her connection and her love and her heart that is maybe not so seen when you hear all the titles, but she is an amazing woman of wisdom also. Wisdom seems to be the theme tonight. So she is a woman of wisdom, of love, of heart, never stops, hardly rests. She's always on the road. And even though we don't see each other recently, we still have that connection that I feel is eternal. And I know she has been pressing through and beyond any kind of misunderstanding, persecution, and many obstacles in her life. And so I'm very, very happy that finally I could nominate her for this very special National HerStory Award today. So please receive Dr. Edith Akbaza.
Wow, wow. Before I say anything, I'm just going to say thanks to the Almighty God, our Creator. We are here today because that's His mission for us. God is able to see us through and direct our path. I thank my co-nominee, Dr. Kimberly. You are too much. You are a full basket of explosive wisdom. You're talented. What you have done is amazing. Thank God for you. And World Peace and Women Federation. It's in the 90s I came across this mission and I haven't let go. And I'm so grateful that the legacy that was laid has continued. And who am I going to thank? Dr. Angelica Sally. Dr. Angelica Sally, you are one of a million. You started something, this program, I know. I have been with you for over 30-something years. We are not friends, we are families. And God has used you, and this nomination is one of you, one of a kind. And I thank you and appreciate the organizers. Keep it up. Don't let go. This world of moral decadence, we are turning into something that God didn't create us to be. We don't know where we are going to, but God will strengthen your effort to continue to bear this light. My family, I thank you all for the support. My friends that are here, those that are not here, I thank you. But honestly, in this earth, I have a lot, and that's my husband, Reverend Charles Sagbaza. He's going to be 84 in August. If you see him, you think he's 50. But anyway, I have good muscles, so I think God, through me, is strengthening him somewhat. But anyway, I thank you all. And I'm going to start this by saying, my focus is love. I'm not going to come from my academic background. I came to this country 41 years ago, a mid-20-year-old girl with my siblings. And where do we come anyway? To see the goodness of this world, we are choking ourselves in where I came from. Not that we lack so much, but when I came, the land of freedom turned to land of something. You got to work so hard. I've never worked this hard. Nobody cooks for me. Where I came from, somebody was cooking for me. You got to wash your clothes and do those things. Life was all another thing altogether. But God said, you are the anointed, appointed child for a purpose. Take ownership of who you are, who I created you to be. I have been in a helping field. From home, I was a trained teacher. I came here to teach, but the kitchen got too hot. I couldn't teach in this environment. I didn't want to end up somewhere that it wasn't. I didn't understand the culture, so I left. I went into social field. Believe me, I got my master's at Howard as a social worker. And I kept learning and learning, thinking to do better and better and better and help more people. That's when I came across victims that we persecute, we talk about. That 2/3 of the people in prison were so innocent, and they are victims if you trace their history. I decided to go off the wagon. I focus on love. Who amongst us here can give what they never had? How can we give love if we can't find love in ourselves and in our families and in those that hate us? How can we teach love if we don't share that love inside of us? My focus is love. It's not mouthy love. It's agape love. If I don't love myself, how can I love my neighbor? Why will there not be hatred and no peace in the world? We have not experienced love. If you love yourself so much, you can give it to somebody else. And that person, we understand what love is, and we share with another. From ourselves to our children, to our spouses, to our families, it transcends to the community. It goes further to the society. Then it can spread along the world. When I came across Father and Mother Moon, I told my husband, I don't care what the world says. If these people are preaching about love, I'm going to follow them. We crossed the bridge with Japanese families in peace. I said, I'm going to have a Japanese family across the world. We did all that, but there is still more to do. When the hate comes at you, give love. I try to love as much as I can. In building a house of law of God, my husband is the first pastor and shepherd of Celestia across United States and Canada. In my ministry, God said, I'm going to drop another ministry on your laps, and that ministry is go to the world, pack your things, like he told Abraham. Go into the world. I don't have a direction for you, but I'm going to use you. I know the God in me. I woke up, I said, Daddy, God said I should form another ministry. I was the director of a hospital He said, go and help people. I was wondering, I dealt with domestic violence women. I have a project in Susan Quarters in DC where I wanted to change the community, starting with 5, 6, 7 women. Show them love. That's all people need. Some of our women have never tested true love. That's why we can't give love. When we hate so much, we gossip so much, we hurt so much, we try to transfer that aggressiveness to somebody else, and the peace we lose. So I took off another hat. I left my clinical practice, my private client, the hospital as a director in mental health. I went into the financial field, realizing that when people don't have, it creates chaos and crisis. So I have to teach people how to begin to accumulate wealth so you can share to those that don't have. They say, Edith, you need a license. I said, so be it. I'm full of licenses. I went to the state and got a license. Now I have 27 state licenses, traveling around the world, educating any adult from 18 years to 90 years. How to acquire wealth so we can help feed the hunger. If you don't have, if you have just enough for you and your family, who will help the person next door? Our problem is we don't know where to save. Can you imagine retiring at 67 and you begin to pay your fake Uncle Sam all the money you thought you had? There was no retirement for you. How can you help your grandchildren and your great-grandchildren with $2,000 a month? Hello. I decided to do something about it. And this is me. This is who I am. I don't go to work. I help people and I make money so I can help somebody else. I teach people retire and retire proudly to train other people how not to retire broke. You can work, and have nothing to offer. God said, go, I will show you the way. Thank God today I have somebody that is paralyzed and the husband calls me every morning, Dr. Edith, God bless you. He hangs up for the last 5 years. How much could you have paid me as a social worker, as a marriage therapist that can give me that peace of mind? Today I save children. They don't have to borrow money because you make money. No, it doesn't work that way. That secret I expose so I can help the needy. I thank you all today because in my journey, I have faced, in my ministry of helping hands, I have endured all kinds of weather. I've had good years and bad years. I've endured and enjoyed unimaginable success and has suffered tremendous persecution, demoralizing, physical abuse, even in the church. Where is the love? I have been physically hit, and I turned and said, why did you do that? God will not smile at you, and I walked away. I want to teach my fellow women how to endure persecutions. If you want to build something strong, look at Father Moon. How many years imprisonment? Look at Mother Moon after the death of Father Moon. She is standing like a rock. I am a powerhouse of prayer. Don't step out of your home without saying, God, you own me and owe this day. Make a way when there is no way. Prayer is the key. And that's the only way we can make it. That's the only way we can sustain our love. And to crown it all, anywhere I see hunger, because now I make enough for my family, I can spread it and help somebody else. I adopted 2 young 24-year-old girl who was made to start having babies at home because the parents didn't have a male child. Unfortunately, the mother and the father died. And they were abandoned. And they were suffering from kwashiorkor. Dr. Kimberly, I know you are a doctor. You should know that kwashiorkor is a malnutritious disease in this world. The other girl, 31, 4 kids. They said, your husband didn't pay dowry. The man died. He started sleeping in the market mall. This is my life, and I'm going to do it till the day God calls me. I will do the best I can to teach people, make money, every one of us here, so we can erase hunger, thirst, and abuse. Most abuses stems from not having. I thank you all, and if I can share this last, I will close by sharing this. Do I have permission to share? Yes, I do. Let me share this with you. When I see this every morning, I come to my office, I open this picture, and I say, God, I thank you. They call me every morning. This is the picture of my children back home.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to share. Do you see this girl? This is the mother of 4 kids. I hope you guys can see this. This is last December. She has this boy that is 2, with stomach so protruding, with a leg like a stick. That is the girl, the mother says, start having baby at home at 15 years old because I have no male child. She got these 2 boys, the mother and father died. She continued, had this boy and have this 3 months old that I'm holding in my hands. Somebody said, Dr. Edith, you do charity work at home every year. I have a girl I want you to help. This girl was the girl that was married to a man 30 years older than her, and the man died. The family said, we didn't pay your dowry. Here you go. She has this boy, this one, and the girl. She's now 31 years old. Has no home. I just finished building her home, opened a store for her to make her money. I don't have money to be giving her. She sells it. This girl is a little retarded. So she sells water. She says, Mommy, I like selling water. Now she has a borehole where she can get water to sell in her father's house. These are my joy. I am going to continue doing more. When these kids call me, they say, Grandma, I scored first in my class. I say, you deserve it. You're going to eat chicken this week. This child is now, I have a doctor that I pay that takes care of these nutritious kids. This is my happiness. This girl is 1 now. My sisters, if I didn't go to do what God called me, I will not have enough to take care of me and to take care of my grandkids and my 2 daughters back home. I have my 4 grandkids here and 5 children, and that's the only way I have peace in my heart, because God has called me. I am a prayer warrior. I am a prophetess called by God. He uses me to do what he wants to do. And that's our calling, is to focus our life on love. So we can give that love freely, but you can't give what you don't have. And if you don't have enough, you can't do what is in your mind. I know that all women, we are born with nurturing spirit. If we have enough, we will share. I would like to also show anybody that will call me what we need to do. I do free financial education so we can spread love and feed the hunger and the thirsty. I bow tonight and appreciate your effort. Thank you very much.
Wow. Dr. Amobi, that was fantastic. I mean, your life story is a personal example of something I think we all look up to. And, you know, what's amazing about your story is you're doing all this practical work too, educating people and taking care of people. You've covered so many different areas of education and training. And then still in your personal life, you continue to be sacrificial and embrace and love. And what I hear from your testimony is that you have been blessed through all of that. And it's such a moving story. I know there's so much more to share, of course, but it makes sense that you would connect with Dr. Selly. And for those who don't know, Dr. Selly is my predecessor. She was the president of this organization before me, and she laid the foundation. She started this HerStory Award tradition. And so it makes sense to me that God put the two of you together, because the two of you are really just warriors for goodness and for peace. So it is really our great honor to be able to present this award to you. You absolutely deserve it. And we will bring it up on the screen now. It says that this HerStory Award is proudly presented to Dr. Edith Amobi Agbaza on this day, April 13th, 2024, in recognition of your exceptional dedication and contributions to the fields of mental health, social work, and financial literacy, and your unwavering commitment to improving the lives of others. We honor you as a peace leader who lives by the logic of love. Let's give Dr. Edith a round of applause. Congratulations, absolutely well-deserved. And thank you, Dr. Angelica Selly, for nominating this amazing woman tonight.
Thank you. Yes, congratulations, Dr. Edith. Just so much power was just moving through you. I could feel it. I could hear your message. It hit my heart, and yeah, you took us on a journey. Definitely, and well-deserved honor to honor you this evening as well. So typically we have 3 honorees that we award with HerStory Award, but our 3rd awardee had a family emergency tonight, and it was Reverend Linda White. So just keep her in your heart and in your thoughts this evening, as she is unable to attend, but will receive the award on another occasion. And just to close this evening, again, you've heard so many incredible connections that these amazing women that we celebrated this evening have made with those who have nominated them. And so this is a call to invite you to learn more about Women's Federation for World Peace, but not only that, to actually support what we do here within this organization and to become a member. The website, I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought. The website link will be in the chat, but it is wfwp.us/membership. And I invite you to take a look and if you were inspired this evening and you want to be a part of what you experience, please consider being a member of this organization. Our next event for GWPN is our webinar, which we also hold every month. It will be April 25th at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And the theme this month is Art Touches Heart: The Transformative Power of Creative Expression. And so that is more of a panel type of webinar where we have 3 speakers come and share their heart about the theme. And then we have a couple of questions, and that's it. It's also an hour long, another great inspirational event to be a part of. So I invite you to take a look at that when it comes around. And also, if you have someone in mind to nominate for the next HerStory Award, please do so. The link for that will also be in the chat. And yes, that's all I have. I hope you enjoyed this evening and were inspired as much as I was, and our president, Kayleigh. We thank you so much. Thank you, ladies, Dr. Wisdom and Dr. Edith, for being here. Thank you, Dr. Selly and Kwasi. I'm sorry. I forgot your first name. But thank you so much for nominating these amazing women, and have a good evening. See you.